Hey explorers, today we're going to be making a tasty treat out of sugar, and to make it science, we'll be observing crystalline structures. We're going to be creating some crystallized sugar sticks. For this experiment, you are going to need the help of someone who can use the stove, but other than that, it's quick, simple ingredients, and the hardest part is waiting. As usual, you can find all of the ingredients and instructions for this experiment in the video description. We're going to need some sugar, some food coloring to make it unique, clips or tape, wooden skewers, containers, and we'll also need a saucepan and some water so we can use our sugar to make a syrup. Let's head out of the lab, into the kitchen, and get started. Our step number 1 is to create a syrup by heating up 2 cups of water and 7 cups of sugar in a saucepan. Heat the water and sugar in a saucepan, stirring constantly with a wooden spoon for about 1 minute to dissolve the sugar. Then turn off the heat. You can also create more syrup by adding more to those numbers. We used very big jars, so we needed quite a bit. Add food coloring so you can make it unique.
Express yourself!
Be sure to use a lot because you've got a lot of syrup and you want that color to really come through in your sugar stick. So we're adding our food coloring and stirring to mix it into our syrup. We need to let our syrup cool for about half an hour, which gives us plenty of time to get our skewers prepared. What we need to do to get our wooden skewers ready is to dip them in the syrup and then roll them around in a little extra sugar. So we dip it, get it nice and wet, then we roll it in our dry sugar. Make sure it's nice and covered, and then set aside for when we're ready. We've now coated our skewer in the syrup and some dried sugar. This is going to help the dissolved sugar attach to form our crystalline sugar sticks. Now that our solution has had time to cool down, it's time to suspend our skewers, whether by clips or however you're doing it. Grab our skewer on our clip and balance our clip on the edge of our jar. And now we just get to sit back, wait for 2 to 3 days while our crystals form, and then we get a nice treat. Did you know that each grain of sugar consists of a small crystal made from orderly arrangement of molecules called sucrose? Another commonly used crystal in the kitchen is sodium chloride, otherwise known as salt. We are literally awash in it. If the water evaporated from the world's oceans, we'd be left with 4.5 cubic miles of salt, equivalent to a cube measuring 165 miles on each side. There are a lot of very valuable crystals as well, including rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. Snowflakes are actually ice crystals formed way up high in the sky when ice freezes. They always have 6 sides, but each single one is unique. It's been 6 days since we left our sugar sticks to crystallize. We made 2 batches because we had a science fail when we tried this experiment in the past. It's a really good thing we did too, because our yellow and red batch didn't have as much crystallization as our blue batch did. The difference? More sugar. Our initial measurements have been slightly adjusted to make it 4 cups of sugar for every cup of water instead of the 3.5 that we originally tried. This improved recipe is what you'll find in the video description. And if you've been following along, hopefully you had just as much success as we did with our blue batch. After your sugar stick is finished crystallization, the next step is to break it free of the jar because there's going to be some sugar around the top as well as on the sugar stick. We're gonna, ooh, it's like breaking ice. Just being careful to not hit our stick. Okay. Once your sugar stick is free, you're gonna lift it up. Oh, that's looking nice. And let all of the excess syrup drip off. Then we lay it on a paper towel to let it dry out and solidify more. Okay, look at that. Now we just let it solidify and harden, and then we get a nice tasty treat. So what we've learned today is that the science of crystallization isn't just pretty cool, it's super sweet. To make sure you don't miss other at-home science experiments like this, subscribe to Clayton's Exploration Station on YouTube and social media. Now you stay curious out there, explorers, and don't forget to brush your teeth. That means you too, Walter.
Clayton's Exploration Station.